Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Bulldog Soccer. We're joined by head coach Greg Henson. And Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I know obviously kind of like spring football we've had on here a few times here this spring. You guys get a spring season as well and a chance really to work on some skills here over the course of the spring.
Yeah, it's been good for us. It kind of gets back to normal. I know we talked about that a lot coming out of the pandemic. And it's unique for us right now. We only have 3 players on our roster that have ever gone through a real collegiate spring season. So it's really new for the whole group, and we're kind of learning as we go and new experiences for the players. But it's been really successful for us so far. We got a couple weeks left here in spring season, and I think our program's really taken some good strides moving forward.
Before we get into the rest of the spring, obviously I know as we look back at last fall, it seems like it's been a long time ago, but I know you're certainly proud of the success and the efforts your team put in over the course of the fall.
Yeah, it was a great season. I think and actually just sent out some letters to our alumni base and said I think arguably the best calendar year in the history of the program when you go back to the spring of 21 and then the fall of 2021. 2 conference championships in there, return to the national tournament. Starting and finishing the season nationally ranked. We did a lot of things. I think we left a little bit on the table. We're hungry to maybe make a little bit more noise in the national tournament. But you can't take it for granted to get there. You can't take it for granted to win conference championships in our league. So really pleased with how things turned out and really proud of the players.
How much is that success maybe from last fall and last spring carried over into the winter workouts and obviously into the spring?
Yeah, I mean, we're a different group for sure, right? I mean, we lost a number of impact players and a lot of familiar names for our fans out there to graduation. So we're a little bit of a different group. We're pretty young this spring right now, but I think it just, the standard's been set and the expectations have been set, and it's really a catalyst for us to continue to move forward and take strides, and like I said, take steps in the right direction. And right now in the spring, our younger players are really stepping up, so we're excited about the future.
Is there any emphasis in terms of a certain area that you need to work on this spring that you will help get you ready for the fall season?
Yeah, I think we're going to bring in 11 new players in the fall. So really a third of our team's not with us right now. But the emphasis coming in was just we had to essentially replace 4 of our back 5 players. So that we lost to graduation, and those were 4 fifth-year seniors as well, right? So it's a lot of experience that we have to replace and find ways to replace internally on the roster right now. And we've been able to play. So far, we played 4 spring games. We got 3 shutouts and only given up 1 goal in the run of play. So I think in those contests we've done well, and they're really stepping in and doing well. So that was one of the areas for us, and the other one was really just in the attacking third and getting numbers forward and trying to provide more support and help for Izzy Zambrani up top. I think last fall, especially down the stretch, we spent too much time kind of leaving her alone up top, and so we want to make sure we get more numbers forward and support in that area, and we've done that. We've got 5 different players that score goals this spring as well, so it's an exciting thing there for us also.
For those players that obviously are coming back that have played for you, how much does playing both last spring and last fall, getting all that experience over the course of a calendar year help you?
Yeah, I think it was a lot, and it was also, I think it's a good break right now to be in spring season, right? I mean, they've been on the go. It seems like for almost the entire year. They got the summer off, obviously, but just being in a different environment where it's still, we're taking things seriously and working on things and working hard. But there's not the stress of a conference championship. There's not a stress of a regular season title, conference tournament, things of that nature. So we're able to, kind of relax things a little bit, really focus more on the technical aspect of the game, tactically, and individual instruction rather than just always the group dynamics.
Obviously, I know we can't talk about any scores or results from the spring season, but certainly your team has a chance not only to get some practices in, but also a few scrimmages here over the course of the spring.
Yeah, like I said, we played 4 games so far. We got 2 more to wrap up, so we'll play a couple games here at home the weekend after Easter break. The dates of that kind of escape me, but we'll be set Saturday, Sunday, both here at 1 o'clock playing, and we're able to play some different competitions. So 4 of our 6 opponents have been Division I opponents. And then a couple of NAIA schools as well that are very good programs and provide a challenge. So it's just nice to be able to get out and play somebody else, kick somebody else a little bit, right? So we're not always just practicing. And we really wanted to challenge ourselves with this young group, and we did that with scheduling those D1 opponents, and so far we've answered the bell.
Obviously, I know you lost some valuable leaders here in terms of seniors that have moved on, who have been some of those kids that have kind of stepped into some of those leadership roles for you.
Yeah, so earlier in the spring we named our captains for next year's team, and it's Jesse Bandit, Krista Caribou, and Nikki May. So they'll take on the leadership role. But overall, and we remind our players all the time that having a title and having a captain's armband doesn't necessarily make you a leader, and not having it doesn't mean you're not a leader. And so different players have to step up in different situations, and we've got a very veteran group, I think, that's been around for a while, and the academic seniors that we have back, those are players that have only played for me, and that's kind of one of the things that we have now. So we're kind of cycling through. We're going into my 4th year, so they know what to expect, and we're all on the same page, and so far they're doing a great job. Obviously,
I know in terms of the academic success that you mentioned right there, I know you're proud of the accomplishments not only on the field but in the classroom. A number of scholar athletes this year, GLIAC All-Academic Selections, GLIAC Commissioner's Award, and certainly a list of accomplishments that kind of goes on and on.
Yeah, I can't always keep up with it, to be honest with you. It's crazy. I think it's, we're on like our 5th straight semester where we have a 3.5 or higher average GPA, and 4 of those were 3.7 plus, and we're on target to get our 12th United Soccer Coaches Academic Team Award, and so our players are here to play soccer and win and be champions on the field, but the academic side's equally or more important, as we want to see them go off and do great things, whatever career field they choose down the road. And so that's always the goal for us, is or for me, for my players, is that when they graduate, they have options. They're choosing which company they want to work for. They're choosing which school they want to go to grad school for, and all that comes from their due diligence in the classroom.
Obviously, I know you're going to wrap up spring practice, spring drills here, the end of the semester in just a few weeks. How does the carryover go from the spring into the fall, and what needs to take place this summer for your team to be successful in the fall?
Yeah, I think it's just maintaining kind of where they're at. We're going to send them home in a great fitness base, and then ask them to maintain that over the course of the summer. Some of our players will go off and play summer league. Some of them will go on to internships and other things of that nature. And I think for every player, it's a little different in what they need to do. Some players need to work hard over the summer and continue to maintain those things, and other players need to take a break and take a deep breath and take a step back and rest and heal a little bit. So we allow them to do what they need to do to be ready for the fall. And then we'll ask them to come back in August, fit, ready to go, so we can hit the ground running. And it starts a lot earlier this year with the festival year, and so we're going to get into camp earlier than we normally do, and play a couple exhibitions, and then we head down to St. Louis for our first regular season game, which will be nice for both myself and our assistant coach Taylor Peacock, because we're both originally from St. Louis, so we get to go home and take the team back to the hometown, and that'll be an exciting trip for us.
Well, Coach, best of luck the rest of the spring, and looking forward to what should be another great fall coming up for the Bulldogs.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.